Namaskar. Welcome to Vision of Asia, a voice of the community on ITV Gold. I am Ashok Vyas. In today's weekly special edition, we'll begin with this week with Dr. Sudhir Parikh, a New York International Film Festival report of the closing night special event with legendary cricket icon Kapil Dev, which was organized at the Consul General's office, Indian Consulate. Also, was instrumental in hosting another event related to International Ahimsa Foundation celebration of Mahavir Jayanti. We'll have excerpts of exclusive interview with Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, member of Rajya Sabha, who was visiting recently. Excerpts from a conversation with acclaimed singer Janavi Srimankar, response of Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parikh to the news about him being recognized by Indian American Press Club with Lifetime Achievement Award. All this coming up right after these short messages. Welcome back. You're watching Vision of Asia, was the community on ITV Gold. And with Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parikh, chairman of ITV Gold and Parikh Worldwide Media, every week we talk about some of the hot button issues. And here is a special edition of this week with Dr. Parikh.
Namaskar, namaskar.
So, Raghav, as we look back, there are some events that are cause of concern, and I'll begin with the one that has bothered, or rather is shocking. Another shooting in Buffalo. Based on the news that we have been privy to understand the mindset of this boy, what was your response when you heard about it?
I think it's completely unacceptable. We all should condone that kind of violence. And I think government seriously at federal level do something to stop to have this kind of gun and automatic rifle in hand of the teenagers or even young boys and girls, because this is a very dangerous thing. The more strict regulations and rules has to be implemented. I know that it's a political hot potato that because of the Second Amendment, and so many people believe that they have right to bear the arm. But you don't have right to disturb the society and kill innocent people just to protect your right to bear the arm. And I think something has to be done. I mean, this happens every time. We talk about it, we cry about it, we blame each other about it, but government is not doing anything. Both parties, Democratic Party and Republican Party, and they should get together and do something for good for the country.
Absolutely. And as our channel is also having a conversation about proactive response to this trigger of violence, and in that context, while gun control is an important issue, mind control is also important. How your mind acts, you in today's world are often sharing through your social media postings, and that this 20-year-old killer was also doing, but that went unnoticed. So how do you feel we can work collectively towards preventing the escalation of such thoughts in anybody?
Well, I think the real issue is not only gun control or mind control, but real issue is a parenting control. The parent has to be responsible for their not able to give parenting to the children, their own children, not watching them, not supervising them, and they can take a father's gun or grandfather's gun from the house and go to the shopping mall and start shooting. I think that's all unacceptable, particularly in the civilized society like USA. So I think it should not be there. Of course, gun control, first of all, easy to do is a gun control.
Correct.
Second one is easy to do is parenting, and because that's in our control or parents' control. And third thing is, of course, mind control, I mean, there are some sick people, sick persons, whose mind is not normal and their thinking is not normal. Those people needs a lot of psychiatric and psychology counseling. But that's a hard to. I mean, that's a hard to, in a sense that it's hard to identify those children. It's hard to give them counseling like for psychiatric or psychology counseling, and they all are on the different medication. Some are on different medication, but all the killer, if you look at the history, they are not mentally deranged. They are kind of socially deranged, and there can be preventable.
Absolutely, you're right. So this boy also prepared in advance, and he meticulously shared the detail of his plan also. And in one of his posting, he says, in spite of having mentioned all this, FBI is not after me. They want probably to let this happen. Now, looking at the relationship between races, and there was a racial overtone in his mind as per his posting. So, in order to improve race relationship, anything in addition to what is already being done that you can think of?
See, race relation, only thing one can do is education. Education. You have to educate the children right from the elementary school. Teach them that all kids are equal. The white or brown or black, everything. The color doesn't matter, and one should not think about that. So, from the school education, education of the parents, as well as the education of the society at large, has to be done. There is no other shortcut, or there is no other options. So, unless you educate, this kind of hate, racial bias will remain. The same thing is in other countries too. So, I mean, that's what we even had in India, that we hate certain religious, certain caste and creed, and certain the way they do their profession. So all those things has to stop, and only way to stop is to teach them right from the school, educate them, and create the mindset where they can understand that Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, everyone is one, and there is no difference between whether you are black or white or brown, or you are what God you worship. Everybody is the same.
Yeah. So ultimately, it is the sense of oneness, and as you mentioned about education, I'm reminded of what we unfortunately have seen happen in a school in Texas, where an Indian boy was assaulted, and there again it is a race relationship against brown that came into play. The boy was chokehold by this white boy who asked him to leave the bench on which he was sitting, and while he refused, he was attacked. So it was an assault which was also captured on video. But the way school authorities gave punishment to both boys also results into a sense of discomfort. So whether it is a school system or legal system, people should have assurance and confidence that they will be fairly treated. Do you see anything lacking in that direction?
Yes, of course, because the whole education is not complete. It's very kind of spotty and kind of random. So it has to start from the school, because school-going children are most kind of able. You can able to educate them. You can able to kind of convince them easily, and you can able to kind of modulate their mind according right way. And once you start from there, then I think eventually all this race relation gets better.
So now moving towards India and looking at one positive news and then another news which is likely to result into some heated emotional flow in India. But looking at the positive side, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, while addressing at TRAI, talked about the vision that every village would be connected by optical fiber. He also mentioned that this availability of 5G would result into better governance and ease of doing business and ease of living. So talk to me about Prime Minister Narendra Modi's relationship with technology and Indian government and Indian system willing to adopt technology for growth.
Well, I mean, we all know that our Prime Minister Narendra Bhai Modi is very proactive, very visionary, has a lot of good ideas for the country. And what he is talking right now is to install the 5G in all the villages, connect the villages with the IT and optic fibers and so forth. By doing that, I mean, he wants villages to be kind of become a part of the large cities and large town. And also they can do all the banking, they can do any applications, any job search, renewal of the passport or renewal of the some licenses can be done online. And so you don't have to come to all the way from village to the city in order to get it done. And this is a great idea, and that makes India brings the India into the 21st century completely.
Absolutely. And now let's go to Varanasi. It was in news recently with the renovation of the Kashi Vishwanath temple, and adjoining the temple is a Gyanvapi Masjid. On the order of court, the survey is being conducted, and there are reports that they found one huge shivling in that masjid, and there are directions given by Supreme Court overruling the trial judge's verdict about restricting the entry of number of people going to offer their namaz. So talk to me about this new development.
Well, I think I heard about this story, and I mean, I was in the impression that Supreme Court or High Court is going to do some judgment today. I'm not sure whether the judgment came out from the High Court today, because I can see that it is going to be very kind of disputed, very emotional subject, and so now High Court has to decide how to approach that, and just to but High Court should make sure, and I'm sure they will do in their wisdom, to keep the harmony in the society, because this kind of thing can trigger a huge violence, and unnecessary innocent people can get killed.
So now it is, as a common citizen, if people are law-abiding citizens, then they respect the verdict of the court. But many times we have seen it has happened again and again that people, when it is not in their favor, react in a violent fashion. And in order to prevent that, not just this reference, is there anything in addition to what way the law and order machinery is functioning? That education part, I think, is important in this day.
Yes, education part is important, and the government of the day, any state government should have a very strict law and order. They should not take kind of side of any party. They should make sure that they arrest and they prosecute anyone. Doesn't matter which party, which group he belongs to. If he is making any or he or she is inciting any violence or any hate crime or hate speech, then it should be arrested and prosecuted. Unless you do that, everybody will have free ride all sides, and that creates a really very disturbance in the society, and that gives a very wrong impression to the next generation, and they will carry on again this wrong thing what current generation is carrying out.
We wind up your parting words for our viewers.
Well, dear friends, I think now we are in endemic as far as COVID is concerned, But unfortunately, for last couple of weeks, the incidence of the COVID cases are surging both in New York and New Jersey. Even New Jersey governor has declared that one must wear the mask when they are indoor and they are in the crowded situation. So be careful, be safe, get vaccinated. And for society at large, I think we all should educate our children, our young fellow Indian American, and make sure they understand that we all are equal. We are any race, color, or creed or religion doesn't make any difference. So be together and help each other, and that's the way world should be. So again, God bless America, God bless India, God bless Indian American, and we'll see you next time. Till then, goodbye.
New York International Film Festival was organized online this year and showcased short films, meaningful cinema. It is indeed a festival for cine lovers. Director of the film festival, Asim Chabra, is associated with this film festival for many years, and it's a part of the multiple creative artistic offerings of Indian American Arts Council. 14th May was the day when this NYIFF concluded, and the event was held at Village East. Awards were distributed by Consul General, and the presence of Ranveer Jaiswalji added another special color to this glorious and a glamorous event. Here are some highlights.
Renal De Silva, producer of Beatles in India, and Ajoy Bose, whom we are seeing in person today after the Zoom interview with his movie Beatles in India. So tell me, what brings you to the greatest night for you, the closing night?
Well, I think it is a great honor to be to close a festival, such a prestigious festival, and I think that I'm so happy. It seems to be very crowded. And despite the new COVID surge, people have actually turned out and come to see the film. And I hope they learn a little bit about this fascinating history, this fascinating love affair, which has endured between the world's most famous rock band and India. And I think for the Indian diaspora, is a matter of great pride. That the Beatles regarded India so highly, and that India played such a major role in their evolution musically and as individuals.
How excited are you about this film? And what made you produce this film?
Well, I had the idea in the late 80s to do it, and when we were working with George Harrison's film company called Handmade Films, but I never got around to kind of approaching him, although I did. He was at an after party at one of the films. But I guess being a fan, I was a bit nervous kind of approaching him. But I always had it in my mind. And when Rishikesh opened, it kind of give me the impetus to kind of get started on it.
Yeah, no, it's really like a surreal experience. Like, being face to face is just like another level of connection, right? And I think that's what we really crave as human beings, first of all, and then as filmmakers. And, with our films, that's what we're trying to do is really connect, with people beyond the film industry and our own little bubbles of wherever we are. So this is an amazing opportunity to meet filmmakers. I'm meeting people here I have not seen in years. We live in the same city, and we were just expressing that how satisfying it is, to be here in person with everyone. So I'm really grateful.
We at the Consulate stand ready to support these festivals. We have been supporting New York Indian Film Festival, and going forward we will do more to promote Indian cinema from Assam, Indian cinema from Andhra Pradesh, from Mumbai, from everywhere. That is our commitment. Thank you.
What is your personal favorite kind of cinema that you like to watch? Your favorite actors? Or your
Well, recently we had Satyajit Ray's. We celebrated his birth anniversary, and on that occasion we recalled his contribution to Indian cinema, the kind of meaning that he's given to cinematography, to the art of cinema, to the theme of cinema is something that we deeply appreciate. I personally appreciate. I was recently traveling to India in Air India, and I saw this film Naya Daur after a long time. It's Dilip Kumar. It talks about man versus machine. I thought it was very beautifully done. There are several such cinemas in India, which that day when we were celebrating Satyajit Ray's birth anniversary, we had Gautam Ghosh, noted director, and I recalled what happened to him when his film Par was being screened in France. Possibly the only film of which people saw the last 15-20 minutes standing. So that was the ovation that he got. So there's so much to celebrate when you talk of cinema. India is the home for it, for me. Of course, there's cinema which is made other parts of the world, but what we do in India is equally among the best, or the best in the world.
A few things. I'm really excited as always, I'm excited to be here in a gathering of creative community. I think it's just such a treat. But also I'm excited to see this new film. I think it's going to be really exciting to watch and to hear everybody's sort of stories and meanings that they're bringing to this festival, especially after this 2 years of the pandemic. I think it's going to be I think it's changed all of us, and I'm interested in seeing how that is reflected today.
I'm out here tonight to support our community. I want to see more of us represented on television and film. Tonight, Beatles India is going to be an excellent film. I can't wait to go in and watch it, and I love seeing our community out here supporting each other.
You've also come up with a bestseller. Talk about your book, and are you looking for some film deal with that?
I am not looking for any deal, but I did write a memoir called She's Unlikable and Other Lies That Bring Women Down. And it came out 3 weeks ago in India. It's already on the bestseller list. We're very proud of it. It also came out in America and Canada. So we want to see the book soar and grow because I think it's important to tell our stories. And so many South Asians feel they can only tell their story once they reach the top of the mountain. I say let's tell our stories on the way up. I think there's a lot to share, and it's very important to share it to each other.
Congratulations, Vijeta, for winning the award for Best Short Documentary, Kicking Balls. Tell us what the film is about and how does it feel?
It feels great because so my first short film also won an award here in 2015, and so Kicking Balls is a docu-short about it's about a village in Rajasthan where child marriages still happen. So it's a bunch of girls who play football as a way to find their agency and self-confidence, and they have managed to use whatever they have learned from the sport, applying it into their actual real lives. They have got their marriages annulled. They are breaking away, like literally like smashing the patriarchy, all through football.
I actually loved it, and I liked the movie just because it was such a well-balanced movie, right? It showed both the sides, side of India, and how India has benefited from Beatles, and as well as how Beatles have benefited from India. I think it was a very mutual benefit on both sides. It was not a parasitic relationship. It was a very symbiotic relationship, I feel. And I think Beatles have made Indian music, Indian culture pretty mainstream before all this social media in the 60s and 70s. But also they showed the vulnerability of a lot of people, right? They showed about the drug addiction. They showed about the Maharshi and how he got corrupted with the greed and the fame. And so I like that aspect of the movie because it was not even just one-sided, all praise, but it showed the human side of things and how things, in a very realistic way. So I really love that.
Amita, you grew up in India in 60s. How was your love affair with Beatles?
I not only sang what little I do sing or don't sing, I danced more than I sang to Beatles. Remember, I was in a convent school with the nuns. So we had those little 45s and LPs that every Saturday night we learned to do all the songs, the jive and whatever it was. We were on top of it. Love the Beatles, love music. And by the way, the film festival is amazing for those who like films of this sort, the art films, the human films. I think it's an amazing place to be introduced to different genres and different processes and thought. It makes you think, other than the mainstream cinema of love stories or whatever they are, nothing wrong with it. But movies like this touch you and give you a little bit of a thought as to what's going on and what's out there in the real world. Amazing. If not this year, obviously it's over today. The closing ceremony and the award ceremony was lovely. But do next year, support it and join it. You'll be happy you did.
Hi, I'm Sunil Hali. Welcome to the viewers of ITV Gold. I'm here at the theatre. This is a wonderful day for all of us because we are resuming the New York Indian Film Festival, which is pretty much the second largest festival outside of India. And this is our 22nd year. Due to the COVID, we had moved the format to the virtual, and this year we are resuming. And this is our closing night, which is the biggest night, and we have a beautiful film today for the closing night, and then we have an after party. Indo-American Art Council is America's largest NGO with close to 30,000 members, and we are in 7 verticals, and I'm one of the board members. I'm one of the persons who is responsible for looking at the organization to go in the right direction with our chairman, Dr. Nirmal Mattu, Vice Chairman Rakesh Kaul, absolutely eminent board, and then the advisory and the committee, the executive team. So we are so happy that the life is resuming again after the COVID, and the atmosphere is so, you can see it's all positive, and we're looking for a great resumption, and next year will be bigger and better. Thank you. Thank you once again to Dr. Sudhir Parikh, my friend, and to the viewers of ITV.
Sudhanshu Trivedi ji has been spokesperson for Bharatiya Janata Party. He is member of Rajya Sabha and is known for his intellectual acumen. It was indeed a source of joy for New Jersey-based Indian Americans, especially to hear him live. And ITV Gold also got the opportunity of having exclusive conversation with Dr. Trivedi. Here are some excerpts from that conversation.
We're here celebrating Lord Mahavir's birthday, and the Ahimsa Foundation, who's celebrating, nonviolence, peace, the traditions of Mahatma Gandhi that we all live by and are inspired by. And as Dr. Jain correctly pointed out, Mahatma Gandhi inspired Dr. Martin Luther King and all the other nonviolent leaders that followed and really helped achieve, world peace.
Let us all get together. We have a lot of technology, a lot of wealth, a lot of material progress in our lives, and also a lot of knowledge and teaching of great men and women, Lord Mahavir being one. from various parts of the world. As a global community, we have a lot of it, but it's important to recall them and realize how important it is for social progress, for social harmony, and for the world to move on. So let us come together to celebrate Ahimsa. Let us walk on the path shown by Lord Mahavir so that we can build a better today and a better tomorrow for all of us. Thank you once again, Dr. Neeta Jain, for this beautiful function. And I must recognize the presence of my dear colleague, Deputy Consul General of Israel, a great friend of India, our distinguished political leaders and friends of India, and all the distinguished members of the Indian American community. Each day, you add so much to celebrate India's US special ties and to make this world a better place for one and all. Jai Janendra, thank you very much.
Our independence came to us through a non-violence movement, which was further followed by Martin Luther King Jr. for his civil rights movement and Nelson Mandela. So we are here now. We have to pledge to ourselves to take this further, to take it to our communities, to take it to our next generation, and tell them how important it is to practice nonviolence. Once again, welcome to all, and thank you so much for being here. And I want to congratulate our all three honorees for today, right now, Professor Jeffrey Long, Dr. Subhash Jain, and Haridas Kotawala. I call him uncle, so it always comes Haridas uncle. So thank you once again.
Well, to start with, I would like to thank Dr. Neeta Jain and the Ahimsa Foundation for inviting me. It's really a great thing that 599 BC, a person who born 2600 years ago, has given the message, which is still, it is true for today's day. That unbelievable. And his message after 12 years of his tapasya is very simple. Do not harm plants, do not harm animals, and do not harm human beings. And look at this thing, do not harm plants. That gives us message for our environmental control, green pasture of the world. Do not harm animals. That gives you a great excuse to be healthy and be vegetarian. And do not harm human being, because we all know we always respect others as you expect from others. And that's the only way you can grow together and make a big difference.
International Ahimsa Foundation is working tirelessly to propagate the message of peace and non-violence. The celebration of Mahavir Jayanti this year was held in collaboration with Consul General at the Consul General's office recently, and here are some highlights from that event.
After our government came, there was a paradigm shift in the approach of the foreign affairs. Prior to that, all the governments were focusing mainly on two aspects. That is the diplomatic, that is economy and strategic aspect. Defense-related issues and economy-related issues, these were the part of the diplomacy. So diplomatic, economic and strategic aspect, just three were there. But after Modi ji came, he has added two dimensions. One, the Indian diaspora, another is the cultural diplomacy. Once the Indian diaspora is having such a vast presence of 30 million Indian diaspora all over the world, which is biggest, I think, in the entire world. So why it should not be used? Particularly in US, the Indian diaspora is quite well off, most educated, most prominent community, and they are having a feeling also, enthusiasm also to do something for their native country. Then why they should not be incorporated in our scheme of things? So Modi ji has used this issue of Indian diaspora. That's why you have seen Modi ji देश के पहले प्रधानमंत्री हैं जो जहाँ भी जाते हैं वहाँ भारतवंशियों के साथ भी उनका एक संवाद होता है, और जिसका आप याद करिए सबसे पहले उन्होंने शुरुआत यही अमेरिका से की थी, जब 2014 में मेडिसन स्क्वायर गार्डन में इतना बड़ा प्रोग्राम हुआ था। तो हम लोग भी उसी पॉलिसी को फॉलो करते हुए यहाँ आते हैं, इंडियन डायस्पोरा के लोगों से मिलते हैं और उनके साथ संवाद होता है। उनके कुछ प्रश्न होते हैं हमसे, वो हम लोग उनकी बात का उत्तर देते हैं, फिर उनसे जो फीडबैक होता है और वो जो देश के लिए क्या कर रहे हैं या यहाँ के लिए भी क्या कर रहे हैं, भारत और अमेरिका के अच्छे रिलेशंस के लिए क्या कर रहे हैं, उन बातों की जानकारी के लिए। देखिए, देयर इज ए ग्रॉस मिसकंसेप्शन अबाउट आरएसएस, particularly in the Western world. With due humility, I would like to say they want to see RSS through the prism of so-called national media in the Indian setup. Why are you using the word so-called Indian national media? Because the English media is considered to be the national media. अब दुनिया बहुत बदल चुकी है। अब आप जाके देखिए तो वर्नाकुलर मीडिया का स्पेस अलग है, सोशल मीडिया अलग है। I request and urge them that get out of the myopic view of the established conventional English media. अब वो क्या नहीं समझ पाता है? What is RSS? I would like to explain in just 2-3 sentences. Number one, if I ask you, which is the biggest organization in the entire world which is having maximum number of schools running? It is Vidya Bharati, which is an RSS output, is having 30,000 schools.
Wow.
No organization, not only in India, in the entire world, which is having 30,000 schools running. Second, in the tribal areas, the biggest organization working, that is Vanvasi Kalyan Ashram. This is an RSS Sangh Parivar organization. Other than Christian missionaries, they are working with the other motive, and they are Vanvasi Kalyan Ashram with the Seva motive. The biggest organization which is working among the scheduled caste and the Dalit Bastis, it is Seva Bharati, an RSS organization.
Wonderful.
The biggest organization of students working in the India's college and universities is Akhil Bharati Vidyarthi Parishad, popularly known as ABVP, that is the RSS affiliated organization. If I ask you, which is the biggest organization in the religious field, because India, the religion is having a very strong, prominent presence, that is Dharmik Sangathan सबसे बड़ा विश्व हिंदू परिषद, that is RSS affiliated organization. अब ये देखिए कि among the trade unions, the combined strength of the leftist trade union is bigger, but if you ask the single trade union which is having the maximum membership is Bharatiya Mazdoor Sangh, that is an RSS organization. And finally, I would like to say the biggest political party, that is Bharatiya Janata Party, not only the biggest party of India, but right now the biggest party of the world in terms of members, is considered to be originated and motivated and inspired by the ideology of RSS. So you can understand that what RSS has done in the last 75 years in the various walks of life in the country. And as far as those who are trying to portray just towards the BJP, I would like to say RSS के करीब 3200, 3200 to 3500 full-time RSS प्रचारक are working in various organizations. Out of that, you know how many are working in BJP? Only 40.
That's it.
So that you can think that there is a vast scope what RSS is doing. And the political aspect is a very small amount at that. And that is just that if you want to change the society, if you want to create a confidence in the society, the political establishment is also a part of that.
Singer Jahnavi Sri Mankar is in the news with rendering of a special song Dholi Da in the film Gangubai Kathiawadi. This humble, dedicated singer also have performed for over 800 to 900 shows with many artists, including composer Amit Trivedi as well as lyricist Javed Akhtar. She stopped by at ITV studio recently, and here are some excerpts from a special conversation with her.
जानवी, जब बहुत कम उम्र में बहुत अधिक लोग आपको जानने लग जाते हैं तो कैसा लगता है?
सच में बहुत सारे लोग जानने लगे, मुझे
आपको जानने लगे, खास करके जो ये गीत गंगूबाई काठियावाड़ी का आपने गाया है, तो उसको थोड़ा गुनगुनाएं, हमारे दर्शक भी समझ जाएंगे आप
जी
कौन है।
ए सैयर मारी सैयर रे हिच लई गरबे घूमो ढोलीड़ा ना ढोल वाग्या धम 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 धमक धम ढोलीड़ा धम धम धमक बाजे ढोलीड़ा धम धम धमक बाजे ढोलीड़ा धम धम धमक बाजे नाचे नाचे रे ढोल पे हवा।
ओए होए, क्या बात है, क्या बात है। तो ढोल पर जब हवा नाच रही है, वो बात जब जाह्नवी की वाणी उनके स्वर से हम तक आती है तो ऐसा सच में लगने लगा जैसे हवा में एक प्रसन्नता की किलकारी है और वो नाच रही है। और अभिनय के साथ में नृत्य का और गायन का जो संगम है, उसको आपने जिस तरह से गंगूबाई काठियावाड़ी में जब आलिया भट्ट पर ये फिल्माया जा रहा था, आपने शूटिंग भी देखी, कैसा लगा वो अनुभव, क्या था?
ऑनेस्टली ये गाना मैंने गाया था, इसको 2 साल कम से कम हो गए हैं। और जब भी ये गाना गाया था मुझे ये पता नहीं था कि ये किस फिल्म के लिए है या किस पर फिल्माया जाने वाला है, बट मैं तो अपना काम करने गई थी। मुझे कहा गया था कि ऐसा गाना है, रिकॉर्ड करना है। फिर जब तीसरे या चौथे सेशन में गई तब मुझे ये बात पता चली कि ये आलिया भट्ट पे है, तो मैं बिलीव नहीं कर पा रही थी। तो फिर उन्होंने कहा कि ठीक है, जब शूट होगा तो हम बुलाएंगे आपको। और फिर मैं गई, तब जाके मुझे थोड़ा थोड़ा बिलीव होने लगा कि ओके दिस इज़ हैपनिंग। और फिर जब मैंने देखा कि बड़े स्पीकर्स पर मेरी आवाज़ चल रही थी और उस पे आलिया भट्ट और इतनी खूबसूरत डांसर्स, इतनी बेहतरीन कोरियोग्राफी डांस कर रहे थे वो लोग, आई वॉज जस्ट ऑ स्ट्रक। मैं तब भी बिलीव नहीं कर पा रही थी कि ये सच में हो रहा है। बट मेरे लिए वो बहुत ही ख़ास अनुभव था, क्योंकि मैं सबसे पहली बार किसी फिल्म के शूट के सेट पर गई थी, और वो भी इतना शानदार सेट और इतनी शानदार माहौल क्रिएट किया था वहाँ पर, तो मैं वो कभी भूल नहीं पाऊँगी।
जो संजय लीला भंसाली भी आपको भूल नहीं पाते हैं, कई वर्षों से उनको आपकी आवाज़ बहुत अच्छी लगती है। बताइए, उनसे मुलाकात कैसे हुई थी आपकी, और उनका आपकी गायकी के साथ में जो एक संबंध है वो कैसे विकसित हुआ?
मेरी सबसे पहले उनके साथ मुलाकात हुई थी जब मैं सांवरिया फिल्म के गानों के लिए बैकग्राउंड या बैकिंग वोकल्स के लिए गाने गई थी, तो करीब 15 साल पहले। और तब हमने ऑलमोस्ट 2 साल तक काम किया साथ में, टुकड़ों टुकड़ों में कई सारे गाने बने थे। सारे गानों के जो बैकिंग वोकल्स थे उन सभी में मैंने पार्टिसिपेट किया था, और वो मेरा सबसे पहला लर्निंग एक्सपीरियंस था हाउ टू सिंग इन अ रिकॉर्डिंग स्टूडियो। तो वो मेरे लिए बहुत वैल्यूएबल था। आई ट्रेजर इट अ लॉट बिकॉज इतनी सारी टेक्निकलिटीज़ सीखने को मिली। और फिर और मुझे ये बात कहीं कहीं से पता चली थी कि उनकी मेमोरी बहुत शार्प है। वो कई सालों पहले की चीज़ें, बहुत छोटी छोटी चीज़ें उनको याद रह जाती हैं। तो हो सकता है इसी वजह से उन्होंने फिर मुझे, जब ये गाना रिकॉर्ड करना था, तब मुझे याद किया और मुझे बुलाया। और जो मैंने गाया फर्स्ट ड्राफ्ट में वो उनको बहुत अच्छा लगा, इसलिए उन्होंने फिर उसी को फाइनलाइज किया।
क्या बात है।
मेरे लिए बहुत
भाई, फर्स्ट एक एक्टर तो होते हैं, फर्स्ट एक सिंगर होना बहुत बड़ी बात है, और उसके पीछे जो तैयारी है, अब उसके मूल की तरफ चलते हैं। जब आपने क्लासिकल म्यूज़िक, जो भारतीय शास्त्रीय संगीत है, वो सीखना शुरू किया था, और अब जब जाह्नवी स्कूल में पढ़ती थी तो कई चीज़ें थी जो वो कर सकती थी, फिर ऐसा लगा कि संगीत आपको खींच रहा है। तो कैसे आपने विधिवत तालीम लेना शुरू किया, किन से आपने सीखा?
क्या मैं आपको एक किस्सा बताना चाहती हूँ जिसकी वजह से मैं म्यूज़िक सीखने लग गई। मैं करीबन 6 साल की थी जब मेरे पड़ोसियों के घर पर एक क्रिसमस पार्टी थी, तो सभी बच्चों को बुलाया था, और अंकल आंटी जो थे नेबर्स, उन्होंने, फिर हम गेम खेल रहे थे, तो मुझे एक गाना गाना पड़ा। तो मैंने अपना एक बहुत पसंदीदा गाना गाया, और वो सुन के उन्होंने मेरे पेरेंट्स को बताया कि आपकी बेटी तो बहुत अच्छा गाती है, ऐसा लग रहा है उसकी।
याद है कौन सा गाना था?
बिल्कुल,
बताइए ना, गा कर बताइए।
ये हंसी वादियाँ, ये खुला आसमां, आ गए हम कहाँ है मेरे साजना, इन बहारों में दिल की कली खिल गई, मुझको तुम जो मिले हर खुशी मिल गई, तेरे होठों पे हैं हुस्न की बिजलियाँ, तेरे गालों पे हैं जुल्फ की बदलियाँ, तेरे दामन की खुशबू से महके चमन, संगे मरमर के जैसा ये तेरा बदन, मेरी जाने जा मैं तेरी चांदनी, छेड़ लो तुम आज कोई प्यार की रागिनी.
Indian American Press Club is going to have Kamlesh Mehta as its chairman, and also a new team of Indian American Press Club was inducted yesterday, that is on Saturday. But right before that, we came to know on this Saturday, they are also going to recognize Chairman of ITV Gold and Parikh Worldwide Media, Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parikh with Lifetime Achievement Award. And I requested him to share his response to this recognition. And here is Dr. Parikh.
Today I take this opportunity of being the first for our viewers to share and congratulate you, an important organization focused on people from press is going to recognize Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parikh with Lifetime Achievement Award. And I think your presence in our Indian American community as well as for the press has been a source of strength, support, and your consistent enthusiasm as wherever you interact and inspire people is worth applauding. So I take this liberty of congratulating you in advance, and I would like to request you to share how do you feel and what is it that you would say is the source of inspiration for you?
Well, it's a great honor. I'm very lucky, humble, and privileged to have this kind of honor from my peers. Press Club of Indian American Press Club they are my peers in a way. So in my life I got recognized by Padma Shri from the Government of India, Pravasi Bharati Samman from Government of India, Ellis Island Medal of Honor, as well as I knighted by King of Malta for my philanthropic work. So all those big awards is very important, but more important than those awards are today's award, which is Lifetime Achievement Award or recognized by given by Indian American Press Club of USA. Because when your peers recognize you and honor you genuinely, it means that you have done something. And this media is, as you know, it's my philanthropic activity. This is not my daytime job. I'm a medical doctor with a very successful asthma, allergy, and immunology practices in the tri-state area. But when I turned 60, all the wise gurus and wise people or friends, they advised me to do something so you can connect second generation to first generation and second generation to Mother India. And that's why I put my own resources, own money, without anyone's help to make this media a number one media now in North America. So I think it's my passion, and I feel always good because when you give it to when you give something to somebody, the person who receives it always happy. You feel happy because you have given or you made some difference in that person's life, and even people who are watching it, or they get inspired and they are happy. So I think it's all win-win situation when you do something for community, for your next generation, and for your country, and for your Mother India.
And now time to say goodbye from today's Vision of Asia Voice of the Community, but time also to recollect with you that you can always enjoy some of our programming on our Facebook page, as well as enjoy some live shows which are beamed directly on Facebook page of ITV Gold. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel and keep writing events@itvgold.com. Thank you very much for your encouragement and being a part of Vision of Asia. Stay safe, stay well, with lots of good wishes. This is Ashok Vyas. Namaste.